Dear students, today we will discuss about extreme values of a function. Extreme values. This is a common word which we use for maximum, minimum values. So if the question says that find the extreme values of the given function, it means we have to find the maximum values of that function and also the minimum values of that function. So extreme value is a common word which covers maximum value also and it covers the minimum value also. Now, while discussing extreme values, we come across two concepts that also we will discuss. Let us draw a graph. It will be easy to identify through graph. Suppose this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is origin. And suppose we have a function fx and the graph of fx is this. Suppose this is point A, this is the value at point A. Suppose this is point B, this is the value at point B. Suppose this is point C, this is the value at point C. Suppose this is point D, this is the value at point D, and suppose this is point E, and this is the value at point E. Now if we observe the graph, we can very easily say that the lowest point on the graph is the point corresponding to A, and the highest point on the graph is the point corresponding to D. This point is called as absolute minimum, and this point will be called as absolute maximum. So we have a word absolute extreme values. It means that we are talking about the global maximum and minimum values. So absolute means global. Now let us observe this graph in a different manner. I have two pieces of paper, and what I will do, using these papers, I will hide some part of the graph. And what I am doing now, I am discussing only about this part of the graph. So again, if we observe this small part of the graph, we can say that the value at the point B is the maximum value in its neighborhood, or we can say that the value at B is the relative maximum value, or we can say that the value at the point B is the local maximum value. So now we will write it as relative extreme values. This means we are talking about the local maximum minimum values. So the value at point B is a local or relative. We can use any word. Local maximum. Same way, again, if I use my piece of papers, I hide the graph. Now if I observe this part of the graph, again the value at the point C is the minimum value in its neighborhood. So again we can say that the value at C is relative minimum or local minimum. So we will write the value at point C is a local or relative minimum. Same way, we can talk about the point E. If we hide the graph using our piece of paper and we are observing only this part of the graph, we can say that the value of the function at the point E is the minimum value in its neighborhood or the relative minimum value, or we can call it local minimum value. So we will write here local minimum.